Hey everybody, Paul Trent here with Row64 doing Python tutorials using our software. If you haven't already, in this video, I'm gonna show off some of the new Row64 2.0 features. Specifically, I'm gonna show these new templates to help people get started. Although I'm showing Row64 1.5 on my screen here, I am running 2.0. And what 2.0 is when you first open it, you'll notice for the first time that you have a template to help you get started. And these templates are just a quick and easy way to jump into a project to understand how mechanically things are working and how they operate inside of our environment. It's just a really great way to quickly get started so that you can see how these things work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click really fast on let's say animated pie, because that's kind of a fun, I love this thing. This is super fun. So I'm going to click on that. And the goal of this is just to showcase, an animated feature here. So if you click animate here, you're going to see a little pop-up show up right down there. And if you click play, you'll see the style that goes on. What we're doing here. If you want to render this out, you can click render and it brings out an image for you. But the great thing about this whole thing is that you can actually see what we're doing. We have a chart being displayed based upon, it looks like, data, not in the data frame, but data in fact inside of the spreadsheet, right? And you can see how the data is structured. If you're curious to see, how this was made, you would click on these various presets up on top. So you go right to this chart tab. Make sure you're on the chart tab up on top here as well. And you can click edit. When you do that, you can immediately see the price over time corresponds to the title over here. We don't have any labels set here. You can see here that we have set our values to this array here, this grid of information. And we've also selected snapshots, and we've gone time values right here, A2 going down. So it's pretty simple. What are snapshots? Snapshots are just a really easy way so you understand most of these animation styles, or in fact all of them, time moves down. So in this particular case, if I were to reset this animation, let's just go ahead and reset it real quick. I'm going to bring it back to 0. You can see here that we have $1 for, well, let's make this even easier. I'm going to click on data labels. I'm going to put the label here too. Actually, just put it on here. Let's put the label right here. Oh, there's no label. Huh. That would make sense as to why it shows nothing. So I'm gonna show the labels. I clicked on edit, and I want to put the labels here as these 5 objects here. So hit update. There we go. Okay, so this is gonna be a really easy way to explain this. When you're making these animations, the best thing to understand is these time periods move downward, right? So as you can see here, $1 is, make this smaller so we can see both pages here. Okay, here we go. You see this dollar for apples corresponds to this dollar value. Orange is $2, pears is 3, grapes is 4, and berries is 5. And then we're going to move down to this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and click on animate here. And you'll see if I uncheck smooth here, what's going to happen is, let's increase this because I want to make this more dramatic for everybody. I'm going to increase the duration to 6,000 frames, and click play. What I'm going to do now is click play, and you're going to see this change very slowly, pop, pop. See, it's moving down from $1 and moving down to this slice and moving down, so on and so forth. It just keeps moving down the line. What does that mean for, somebody that is making this? It means that you need to be aware that this popping occurs, and if you want it to be more of a smooth transition, if you click smooth, what's going to happen is that you're going to now move from each one of these slices or snapshots to the next snapshot on a linear basis. So you can kind of see here it's a much more gradual process, and it just makes the information appear much more dynamically. So just a great way to showcase one example on how to make an animated chart or an animated pie chart, specifically donut chart, in row 64. Just very, very powerful and very, very cool, because on these data labels, you can really go to town and just make this the most beautiful graphic on the planet. You can do whatever you want. You can change, obviously, the size of the donut. You can, fit to the page however you want, big or small. Move the text inside or outside like that. It's just really robust. Even these lines can be changed and modified as well. So, and the dots can be too. You just got to go through all these little parameters and change them. So, I hope you found this useful. Jump into any one of these projects, because there's just so many templates that you can jump into. Let me show you another one actually. Let me do one more to go get an idea of maybe you want to look at the scale of how much data this thing can handle. You can click on like 10 million rows, and you'll see row 64 immediately enters into a downloading process where it downloads the project complete with all the data, so that you can actually play around with the data yourself. And once we get to that project, I will just show you. It's really, really powerful. So here we go. We're at the 100% mark. It's currently unpacking this information, and once it has it unpacked, you're going to see now we've got, let's see here, 1 million rows as an example inside of a data frame. And why is this powerful? Maybe I want to learn how to move around this data frame. I can actually quickly, if I don't like the order, I can highlight the rows that I want to talk about here, right? Hover my mouse over and then just move to like another location, right? Really, really powerful way to work with a data frame, because this type of movement hasn't been available before. Maybe I want to go into this specific cell and I want to change it. I can literally just start typing inside of it, right? We would have had to call a .iat method in the past in order to change anything like that. Maybe we want to do a sort or deduplicate. We can easily do that, right? As you can see here, I deduplicated under 1 million rows here in under half a second, down to 24,000 rows. Maybe I was like, oh, oops, I wasn't supposed to do that. Let's just go ahead and reset that. We'll get back to what we were at before. Maybe I wanted to do a quick sort over here, right? I can easily do that. And you can see here, it sorts in information ridiculously fast. So I hope you found this template video useful. I hope that you jump around the templates, get familiar with row 64 and its capabilities, and I hope that you join us as we start to just really revolutionize how people work with data. Thanks so much.